Well, welcome back to Krown's Kiddo Cave. It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon over here in a post-rainy, massively rainy Chicago. I actually just got pissed on myself outside. Spent like 20 minutes walking to the gym and just came back soaked like you can't believe. Very embarrassing, and now it's just nice and bright and sunny. There you go. Anyways, Bitcoin actually is looking a little bit nice and bright and sunny as well. I do think that we're going to be looking at a nice little move, not necessarily little, but about a $600 move, $500, $600 move, probably in the next 24 to 36 hours. I do think that it's starting to really set up right here. So without further ado, let's waste no more time because I really want to make sure that I get this video out before the daily doodle close. And I'm really going to time myself to actually keep this under 20 minutes today. I'm going to really make a conscious effort to do it. I said that yesterday, but I got carried away, man. I got carried away. But I think I can do it this time. So without further ado, I do want to wish you well. I also want to wish you the best, the happiest, of course. And let's get in a live scene. Like with that said, teleportation. I'll see you in there, baby. Bitcoin on the daily. This is the one that matters most right now. Bitcoin actually maintaining what could be both an open and close above this yellow 20-month expansion moving average, which will be confirmed in the next hour and 20 minutes, which would be our first open and close back above this region since a few weeks ago. Which more importantly, whenever I get two consecutive closes over the 21, typically your statistical setup for more in that direction is typically is in your favor essentially. So I do kind of like the setup right on over here. You also can see that Bitcoin did essentially come back down and test that green 50 exponential moving average, and the response was good. So the way that I look at this is that the path of least resistance here is likely up to our next level right around about 11,200 to 11,400ish region, and overall structure is still just that of of a massive symmetrical triangle. So everyone's looking at the same thing right here. I'm not saying anything crazy. Everyone's got their symmetrical triangle plotted on out, and typically when everyone's looking at the same thing, well, fuckery is abound. But for now, I would stay a little bit frosty here, but I do think shout out to Frosty as fuck in the Discord. But I do think that we have a little bit of upside here just based off this, assuming that we can actually close this daily doodle above the yellow 20-month exponential moving average. But the thing is, and regardless of my opinion on this fact, the way to trade this one is literally the same if whether you're going to be bullish or bearish. If we do see the next daily doodle, the one that's going to be coming in 1 hour and about 19 minutes now, trade above the high of today's daily doodle, assuming that we don't take out today's daily high before the actual close, which is 10,995, 59 and a half, then I would be looking for that next move to the upside to about 11.2 to 11.4 to happen in a more rapid sense. And by the same token, if we actually do come back down and even just take out today's daily doodle wick to the downside, I do believe that we will actually end up taking out the 50 exponential moving average to the downside, and we will come back down into this region right around here, probably right around about $10,000. And then we get to play the game of, is Bitcoin going to set in its first lower low or not? But for now, Bitcoin does have a series of higher lows still going on right here. We do see this nice stair step, higher low, higher low, higher low. However, we also do have some lower highs, which tells us that this is a consolidation. I'm actually just making sure that I'm on the chats right now because sometimes I'll forget to do something. I feel like I'm always a little bit less prepared. Let me just bring it into visual view right there. There we go. Okay, sounds working good, I believe. Please let me know though. And it looks like the video's okay too. All right, great. Anyways, let's actually go into lower time frames now. Let's see what's going on in the 4 hour. 4 hour, as you can see, has defended the 200 exponential moving average extremely well the whole way through. Of course, we even tested down to the 200 simple a few times, but that's fine again until we actually break it with a closure. And this is why I wait for closures, not wicks. As if you were waiting for a wick right here, you just got hunted. You can see, just hunted. But you all good, awesome, man. Thank you for that, JJ. Thanks for that, Siwi. Awesome, man. Awesome. Thanks thanks, guys. Massive help. So yeah, this area obviously encompassed by our blue box territory, essentially just a little bit of an order block coming back from our mid-June area right on over here. But overall, Bitcoin put in a base right above it. We see former resistance flip to support. More importantly, we also see let's actually bring all these guys off because I think this is actually quite important right here. Let me take everything off except for the golden cross, death cross moving averages. So you see that Bitcoin did get the death cross on the 4 hour not so long ago right on over here. But with regards to the way that price action is kind of hanging above that purple 200 exponential moving average right now, that's gonna inevitably bring these back into a golden cross posture, in which actually really starts to make this look a lot more like what we saw in June of 2016, funnily enough, where if you can put this picture in your mind's eye right now, where Bitcoin essentially has a massive pop to the upside, gets golden crossed and just goes all the way from about 3,500 all the way to 14,000, then gets death cross, and gets golden cross, and gets death cross, and goes into a sideways consolidation essentially. Well, this actually does look quite similar to something that we saw from June 2016 on the last last switch from bear to bull markets, which was right on over here. If I can pull it back a little bit faster, there we go. Come on, baby. Where is it? Is it here? I think it's right here. Yeah. Okay, so Bitcoin switches it up right on over here. You get that golden cross, leads it all the way up for a phenomenal gain, as you can see, all the way from like $150 to what is it, like $500. And then we get our first death cross right on over here. Go through this sideways consolidation, pop back up, get the golden cross, and then we actually do something very, very similar, right? Bitcoin has a very small snip below the death cross. Actually, it gets death cross once again, of course. And not only that, but we actually do put in a little bit of a rising channel right here, right? And then we break back above the purple 200 exponential moving average, holds it, and then we actually do come back down it again. But more importantly, the golden cross happens, and that leads us up for our next major massive move. And realistically, from cross to cross on this actual first one right over here, which I suppose the second one's just going to be a little bit less, but we would see a gain of about 100%. And that's kind of why I have a really intentful eye on what we're looking at right now, because if we could get this going back on and through, and we actually see resolution on this massive triangle to the upside, then I would say that this is something that I kind of keep in mind. Looking at this, yes, we do see this kind of formation, or sorry, these results kind of actually multiplied over time. This happens not just once but a few times, where we see the golden cross and then about 100% move. Sorry, this one about another 100% move right on over there. You see another one right on over here for 56%, pretty damn good, but not necessarily 100%. Then we get this next one right over here, 171%, and then we get this next one right here, I think another 100%er. There you go, just 100%, 105 if you want to be super exact. And then this last one, which was 400%, the end of a massive parabolic bull rally. Anyways, my point is that I don't want to necessarily like be on the same side as and say like Bitcoin's going to double from here right now, like at this point. No, you can see that those took their time. Like usually on average took about a few months to really reach its final result. But it's something to keep in mind that this does typically hold some weight. So as long as Bitcoin maintains above the 200 exponential moving average right on over here, we will see the golden cross between these two guys once again. And to me, this is very obviously getting respected as it is right now. So I do think that this is likely going to be an opportunity right here. Now, of course, like I said, if we do, if we do see today's daily dodo, not today's daily dodo, but the resulting one coming in tomorrow, not this one right here, but the one for the 21st of August. If we see that take out today, the one that I'm talking about right now on the 20th of August, low, then yes, actually would be looking for this to come back down. But for right now, I think that things are more or less good. And essentially, as long as Bitcoin holds, especially the 200 simple moving average right on over here, and also the 200 exponential moving average, but even the 200 simple moving average, I would say that this is, looks to me like it wants to go. Anyways, again, like I said, I don't trade my opinion, I trade technical analysis, but technical analysis kind of lining up with my opinion right there. And I need to take a sip of this water because I am fucking thirsty. Oh man, that was much needed. There is someone on Twitch with a username that goes like this: "Suck my node." Nice one, man. God damn, man! Only in cryptocurrency land. You gotta love this place. You gotta fucking love this place. Anyways, so yes, as the longer that we actually see the price action actually stay above the 200 exponential moving average, this cross does become inevitable. And as you can see from a historical stance, whenever Bitcoin's in kind of a general uptrend, a parabolic run, not necessarily even a parabolic run, but a general uptrend, a macro uptrend, these crosses do get respected quite well. And we do actually have a pretty damn good signature from what we saw right on over here to what we saw in June 2016, of course, as well. Anyways, it goes without saying. I know I always repeat this, but I think it's really, really important to say. Still just one mass consolidation on the whole. This has not changed. Nothing's changing, and I don't think it's changing anytime soon, really. We do have an apex on this triangle coming in around early October, which would imply that this probably breaks somewhere right around here, right around when it's about 69% full, as that is when statistically they are most likely to break. And that put us somewhere in about middle of September, which, funnily enough, matches up along the timeline of when Bakkt is going to be coming back into this market and whipping all these bad crypto boys into shape. Daddy Bakkt laying down the laws. You got to love Daddy Bakkt. So again, looking at this right here, this would suggest that we have resolution, not right now or really for the next couple of weeks, or I guess like 2.5 weeks most likely, which would suggest that we just kind of, play within these bounds. And I don't really think that we're gonna get any sort of like major massive breakout to the upside or to the downside, really until probably like early September, at the earliest. Could I be wrong with that? Yes, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't always work out like that. I'm just talking about statistics, but statistics would actually likely line up with that. Anyways, while we we are here and we are looking at this massive symmetrical triangle, I should say that the measure move, if we do break it to the downside, which I think I wouldn't be leaning towards it breaking to the downside. I actually do think that this one breaks the upside. I am, long-term bullish here. Then I would be looking, it would actually imply a move all the way down to about 7,200. So, hey, make no mistake about it. If we do break the bottom of this, I will certainly be looking for some pretty hefty shorts. And there will likely be bounces around the way. I would imagine right around here, right around about 8,300 would be a major area of interest. And then probably somewhere right around about, what's this area right here? At about 8,800 as well. Sorry, 8,200 and 80, and about 8,800. Probably bouncing down along the way. But again, like I said, I'm actually not leaning towards it breaking to the downside. I do think that it breaks the upside, and that imply kind of a similar move back all the way up here towards about 14,500 bucks, which would kind of line us up with this horizontal territory right on over here, which reminds me to talk about this, because if we pull it out, when in doubt, pull it out, of course. We do see that this order block is coming all the way back from our breakdown in January of 2018. So a nice historical piece, which does actually line up with some, with some historical levels, of course. And let's actually put in, do we want to put in a blue box? No, it's not really necessary. But what we do want to see is we want to see the whole picture and see if this lines up with anything else, which if we throw on the volume profile, getting a little bit interesting with this one right here. We do see that the volume profile, while it's definitely not high, it's certainly not high by any stretch of the imagination. It is relatively high to the, to the surrounding volume nodes right here. And it would kind of line up with this last of this area before we quite literally have like no fucking, no prior history. I mean, this is just nothing right here. If you think Bitcoin's been zooming around this whole time, just wait. If and when Bitcoin gets into this region, it is going to be even more volatile. These fucking moves that we see are just so crazy sometimes within a small amount of time. So it's only going to get the higher that Bitcoin gets. I mean, then you start to get the law of big numbers, and then it's already a pretty damn illiquid asset. I mean, things just start to get kind of crazy. So I would say that if you think that trading this is crazy right here, where we have like days where there are hunts $200 up, $200 down, and then comes right back, closes in the middle. Well, could get a lot more worse than that. I'll tell you that. Anyways, while we are looking at the volume profile, you do notice that the volume profile kind of thins out above this current resistance that we're seeing right around here at about 10,950-ish region. Again, I don't really even consider this like a massive resistance. I think that if Bitcoin does approach this area right again, it will break to the upside, and we will head up into this next like higher value node right around about 11.2 to 11.400, which does match up with our next resistance cluster right around here on the blue box on good old Bit Mexico, coming in from this order block from early July. So again, likely does get respected. Also going to be matching up with the fib as well. We do see the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement coming in right around 11.2, and we do see the 0.5 coming in, or sorry, no, the 382 coming in right around 11.6. So that area will be an area of consideration as well. Although, first things first, right? But just in case we actually do, play this out a little bit faster, then that's something to keep in mind as well. Anyways, let's go check out the Bitcoin dominance chart really quick. Holy shit, I just realized I only have 10 minutes left. This is going to be a 20-minute video. I only have 10 minutes left. What the fuck, man? Jesus Christ. How can you say anything in 20 minutes? There's no way to say anything in 20 minutes. It's actually impossible. Who the fuck says anything in 20 minutes? That's insane. Anyways, looking at the daily on Bitcoin dominance, bullish as fuck. Bullish would be the term, bullish as fuck. I think that we're probably going to pop back up here and test around 7130, 7150-ish region, back around a prior high most likely. This is very resilient, got reaccumulated. If I put back on my major moving averages, you'll see that the 21 exponential moving average has been governing it the whole way. I mean, this is, one of my rules is I'm not, once you're trending and you're maintaining the 21, just respect the trend. Just let the trend be your friend. That's when it's actually trending. And you do see that it's holding it quite well, reaccumulated right on this, and once again reapproaching this horizontal right here, which looks like it kind of wants to break. Especially on the lower time frames, this looks like a nice little move. Well, does it? Yeah, it does. It does more or less look like it wants to break to me. Although we do see 4-hour Stochs starting to lose a little bit of their luster, but that's okay. Either which way, I do like what I see overall. If it were to come back down, I'd look for it to probably base right around this region, about 69. But again, I think that the next move is likely to the upside. I think that we have some more upside here, which is going to spell a little bit more hurt for the altcoins. So let's just go check out the altcoin charts. We would expect the altcoins charts to look very, very weak right now, if that is going to be true. So let's just pick a random one. Of course, let's just pick on good old Cardano over here. Where are you, Cardano? You fuck, you little chicken fucker. There we go. Okay, and another rejection by Cardano right around the 21. Remember what we just said about the 21 on the dominance chart? Well. It's like it's perfect, right? When you're trending, you can use that as like your general guide, and you can see here, it's been throwing it down the whole way down. I mean, this is just fucking beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. It's been unable to actually I was about to say it's been unable to open and close a daily dodo above it, but nope, that is not true. It actually has a couple times, so a few fake outs here, but overall this one just getting ground down the whole way. And let me just put on the red 10 symbol. Are we below all major moving averages right now? Could this be? We're below all major moving averages. Wow. Really trending hard right there. I mean, this is a perfect setup. I mean, Jesus, man. Strong trends are likely to continue. Now, I don't know how much more downside this one has. Like, ultimately, I mean, it's just, just speaking freely on this one right now, it's been beat up a lot, to be fair. This one's been beat up like a lot. But it can always get worse, man. It can always get worse. It's like that Jim Cramer clip where he starts to go crazy. Jesus Christ, man. I just heard that for the first time last night. It just blew my mind. Guys going out of control. Anyways, back on a Bitcoin, lower time frames. Still looking constructive for this region. I'm sure people are calling this a head and shoulders. Krown, isn't this a head and shoulders? Aren't we going to go down? Because I heard a head and shoulders is a very bearish pattern. It's what all the bears love. Yeah, you want to know something funny? One of the good things about being back in Chicago is I get to meet with a lot of my friends in higher level quant firms. They've actually done an analysis on the success of just general patterns in cryptocurrency land, like actually with direct focus on cryptocurrencies. You know what they found? They found that head and shoulders patterns have it was something like an absurdly low chance, like maybe like 27%, maybe even lower than that. It was something like that. I mean, it was bad. It was fucking bad. So again, people calling this head and shoulders, I mean, they're actually right. It technically was, but they just don't, I mean, a bearish pattern in an overall general uptrend, like a macro, usually not going to play out. Just like the bullish patterns, during the macro downtrend, during last year, they didn't play out either. I mean, how many people are calling fucking falling wedge the whole way through and just getting dumped on by massive girthy, rainy dildos? I mean, it's bad, man. It's super bad. Anyways, got the golden cross on the hour there right there. So this thing's going to the fucking moon, of course. No, just kidding. Stupid joke. But of course, the hourly why is it important? Because it can lead on into the 2 hour, and the 2 hour doesn't really matter either, but that can lead on over into the 3 hour, and then the 3 hour actually starts to kind of matter. 4 hour matters, and the 4 hour, of course, the one of major significance right now, as we kind of discussed earlier. Looking at the historical crosses. Anyways, looking at what is this 2 hour right here. Golden cross actually a little bit further away, as you can see. So it's kind of like, they're kind of like fractal in nature. So it's going to take some time, but as long as Bitcoin maintains above here, which, looking like it wants to close the day strong. Again, we got about an hour left, 1 hour and 5 minutes. There's no way I'm going to do 20 minutes on this video. Fuck that. It's not happening, man. Maybe we can cut it down a little bit though. But looking at this right here, coming into the close when we got about an hour and 4 minutes left, closing strong like this is a good signal, but I would like to see a little bit more from Bitcoin. Looks to me like we're going to see. Looks to me like we have strong likelihood to see some fireworks today. Anyways, okay, cool. So going back down, and I do want to check out. What was the other thing that I want to check out? Let's go check out. What was it? Yeah, let's go check out GBDC and see how GBDC closed the day. GBDC closing the day. Close today, kind of nasty. Yeah, this is not. I do not like this close on GBDC. I'd be more bearish looking at this. In fact, GBDC, I mean, is in an overall descending triangle, right? It's certainly a more bearish pattern. But again, is GBDC leading right now or following? I mean, we did kind of actually see GBDC do this move a little bit later, to be fair. I don't know if I really have an opinion on this. This would be a little bit more concerning though. You would have expected to see GBDC close a daily a lot better. I mean, at least above the yellow 21. In fact, we're getting rejected by both the red 10 symbol and the yellow 21. GBDC does not look as good. No, not nearly. So I do think that if spot is going to move up, it's actually going to have to take control right now. And we're not going to, and we're going to have to see it lead, which I think actually is possible because we do have a similar move like this on spot, but now spot kind of transpiring a little bit further in time, I think is what's likely happening here. But if we go down to the lower time frames, I mean, you can kind of see what's going on. We had that move to the downside in the early morning hours, then popped back up, spent most of the day going sideways, then closed it, then had that next test back down. But now spot went up, and then GBDC's kind of closed right here at that same time. So is that complete? I would say that, well, It's really all that we have to go off of right now. Anyways, we'll have to come back to that one later, but let's go over and check out CMEs right now. See how CMEs close the day, because I don't think that they had a good close either. But yeah, looking at CMEs right here, CMEs close the day as a little bit of a doji dildo. I neither hate nor love this one. You can see on CMEs though that we actually did officially close this daily dildo above that, above this nice, piece of higher value notes right here. So I do think that we're actually, this actually kind of looks good for a move up to about 11.3, 11.4 region. Again, CME is actually looking okay here. In fact, let's put on, why are my moving averages not on there? Let's go check out the momentum oscillators. We do see daily Stokes coming down the whole way. It's actually coming down the whole way, while price action has actually just been floating back up once again. That typically does, work out in favor and actually switching it around. That actually just allows the oscillator to reset. Not only that, but we see daily RSI looking like it wants to regain the exponential. Not confirmed though yet, certainly not confirmed, but it looks like it is posturing for it and going to have a chance to close above it tomorrow. But again, not confirmed for that one, so kind of a moot point either which way. But going over to Bitcoin, we do actually see that happening right now. We're gonna have, Bitcoin did confirm above the exponential on the RSI yesterday. We can see that this is just one. This one actually kind of is a massive falling wedge right here. There you go. Over a long period of time, but you can see that we're just like right in the middle of this formation right now. It's not really telling us all that much actually, that we're not getting from price action. Actually, all that not all that helpful for that one. But imagine, Jesus Christ, man, my charts are so convoluted now. This is disgusting. Anyways, kind of matching that up with the daily Stokes, which actually look like they're going to confirm to the upside as well, and really beginning momentum to the upside. That typically does align with price action transpiring in that same direction, and so I do think that's the next target of about 11.2 to 11.4 quite likely. Let's see. I am long for full disclosure, and I'll be holding long again as long as we are above this 10,550-ish pivot right here. As long as we're above there, I'm happy to hold long. If we do go below there, I'll just take profit on my positions that I started a little bit lower, and we'll just wait for the next trade really, because like I said, if we take out 11,550 to the downside, I do think that Bitcoin comes back down to like low 10,000, and then that's just a danger area, because it's just a danger area, man. I don't think that Bitcoin has too many taps of the bottom side of the support if it holds up, over time. Anyways, it's getting a little bit scary over there. Anyways, okay, cool. So let's see, 4-hour RSI actually regaining the exponential as well, and really looking constructive within this region, so not bad. What do we see on 4-hour oscillators? 4-hour Stokes coming down. 3-hour Stokes, what are they doing? 3-hour Stokes looks like they're catching wind of this trend line right here, so I actually do think that this one probably does follow through. If we could get this cross back up to the upside, that would start to look pretty damn good. We'll get the 2-hour and the 1-hour going. 2-hour crossing right now. Hourly are already up. That's actually looking okay, more or less. I actually kind of like that. Looking at and of course looking at the 12-hour as well, which we didn't discuss today, but I did mention it this morning. Yeah, looking at this right now, I'm not a huge fan of this. Of course, we still got 59 minutes and 11 seconds left to go, but just closing below the last 12-hour dildo it always looks nasty, to be fair. Not a death sentence, but it does look nasty. I suppose you could still be using the 21 to kind of govern it. And we're probably going to see convergence on the 21 between the 55 if we do close it anywhere here or higher. That's just how they're designed, so that would start to look good, but I want to see some more before the end of the daily little close. Anyways, we do see 12-hour Stokes, more importantly, getting the last few moves extremely well. We did see across the upside most recently on that last load about, 10,000-ish region. But more importantly, the crosses both to the downside and the upside have been phenomenal in this whole consolidation. The last one to the downside right over here from 5th of August, that getting that last high right around 12,000, then the one before that right here, during this bottom, then the last one before that getting this high, then getting this low, and then getting this high and this low. It was just fucking, it was really, it's just been extremely on the dot. Anyways, I need to take another sip of this water, man. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Stayed in the sauna too long today. Anyways, okay, cool. I also wanted to look at this as well. We want to bring up the expected moves chart with regards to historical volatility. That is not the time frame that I want to be looking at. Sorry, not to scare you right there. Let's look at a daily, and we do see daily is just kind of hanging out between the first standard deviation, just right inside of it. So we haven't really done anything of interest today. In fact, this would actually not, to be fair, if we had a close like this with regards to historical volatility, or with regards to expected moves, with regards to historical volatility, that'd actually not be as good. You do see them kind of converging on each other right here, especially, as we do hit a, more preliminary resistance. But with regards to that, I do think that I do think that it's still got to wait until the end of the daily to close to fully see this one. So unfortunately, can't really say that just yet. But if we do close like this, I'm not as big of a fan of it. That's for sure. Looking at the fear and greed index as well, we do see that the fear and greed index has actually popped back up to, what is it, a 39 read right now? Yeah, it looks like a 39 read. You can also see that I do have a moving average on it right now. It's just it's a 13 period exponential. And just kind of playing around with it, I don't really think I have too much with it. You do see it kind of getting moves here and there. It is pretty damn well correlated with price action. As you can see, correlation coefficient showing about a 66 read on that, so pretty damn good. So I was trying to see like if I put a moving average on this, and would we see it actually kind of like break that moving average? Do we actually get the trending moves? We kind of do, kind of don't. It's not perfect. Probably have to play around with it a little bit more. There's probably a better way of doing it. Maybe like a least squared regression as well might be better. But I mean, there's some good ones here. I think there might be something to it. Anyways, that's something to talk about for a later date. As we see it right now, we just got another test into the more extreme fearful zone, of course. And this is something that we very, 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 very rarely see. I mean, like even in the more bearish market, like the bear market of 2018, we only got a few touches down into this region. And that was always during these massive lows. Now, of course, when we did put in these lows, you can see price action stayed on those lows for quite some time, but we always got a respectable bounce after that at the very least. Anyways, my point is that we got in this region, during obviously like a more, I think like a more happy market. We just basically 4x'd off the fucking lows. So I would say that this, that kind of suggests that this indicator would kind of work in double effect. Anyways, going back into the price action, let's kind of start to wrap this bitch up. I think this is just a little smidgen over 20 minutes right now. But to kind of wrap this one up on the lower time frames, blue box territory still getting it well. The purple 200 exponential moving average are more preliminary support, and then we got let's get this guy. Let's get the drawing tools off right there, and we got the white 200 moving average just below it, and kind of rounding out the low side of that blue box territory. I'm happy to stay long as we are above the white 200 simple. If we go below, I certainly will cover, and like I said, if we do go below, I'd probably be looking for a move back down. Probably back down to at the very least 10,250, but probably back down to about 10,000 even, and perhaps even lower than that. And like I said, a little bit of a danger zone approaching that region anymore within this formation, as it is starting to get a little bit more mature. Other than that, though, as long as we kind of remain above, I do think that Bitcoin just grinds it out right here. Especially if we can take out today's daily total high. This is not the best close right here. I will say that. This is really not the best close. If we close like this, again, this is still with 45 minutes left to go on the day, but not really liking the way that this looks right here. But if we do see today's daily total high get taken out by the resulting one tomorrow, then I would be looking for that next move to actually happen to about 11.2 to 11.3 or 11.2 to 11.4 right on over here. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for today. I do want to wish you well. I do want to wish you the best, the happiest as always, and take care.